Day 21 of doing it scared. I am in a very busy time in my life. And I contemplated this morning just quitting this, and it would actually make reasonable sense to do so, especially with the amount of stuff I have going on and what I have coming up for the next 5 weeks. Um, but part of this experiment, part of doing it scared, is not giving up and sticking with a commitment that you make to yourself. And that's what I'm doing. And yeah, I get that this isn't that hard. But it does take up time. It takes up time to post. It takes up time to sit on here. Yesterday I was on here for an hour, which is still blowing me away. But I actually want to just today, on this beautiful Monday, I just wanted to talk about who I am, because I haven't really, I may be in the first video, but I haven't really discussed about me, about who I am, and why should you care? Why should you even watch these videos? Well, number one, why you should care is because of, if you're watching these and if you come across these, it means that there's something in your life that you want to do that you're just a little bit afraid to do. And that can be starting a business, that can be talking to somebody that you want to maybe have a relationship with, that can be having a hard conversation, that can be doing the inner work, that can be doing so many different things that we have in our lives that we need to do and we need to approach scared. And that is the point of this. That is the point of me doing this, is because I have so many things in my life that I have done scared. Just a little quick history on me. I grew up in a conservative Christian home. If you know anything, it's a basically fundamental Baptist, independent Baptist, and that had a big, profound impact on me. And negative or positive, we have yet to see. But I've had a lot of struggles because of the way I grew up, and throughout my life, there's been a lot of challenges and a lot of questions, and I was never really, at least I never felt safe asking anybody any questions about what we believed, and I wasn't allowed to question it. So I've been going through almost this, the term deconstruction of faith, but I don't want to say that because it doesn't sit right. It doesn't feel right. I've been going through this period of time for the last couple of years of questioning everything and learning on my own and trying to figure it out for myself. So I actually, in these videos, a lot of times I reference the Bible because I memorized a lot of it. We read it all the time growing up. So there's a lot of spiritual, whether you believe in the Bible or don't believe in the Bible, there's a lot of amazing truths in it, and there's a lot of great lessons that we can learn from it. So I reference that a lot because of that upbringing. I was never a super smart kid growing up. I struggled in school. And that I realized even that, I understand the limiting belief that was. I had struggles learning. I didn't like, doing doing math, and I still not a great math person. I'm trying to keep this brief, and I'm just going through. I'm what is important. The point is that even with school, there was a lot of challenges that I overcame from an early age because I had that belief of, oh, I'm stupid, oh, I'm not smart. So there was a lot of challenges that I overcame in school because of that. But it also led me to, being a C student. I wasn't C student, but I got B's and I got A's when I really applied myself. But anyway, fast forward, I worked a lot. My dad always owned small businesses, so he was in the world of entrepreneurship, and we traveled around the world a lot because of my dad trying to find different jobs and seeking adventure. He always loved seeking adventure, and something I admire about him a lot is his ability to seek adventure and find fun things and everything. There's a lot of negatives that I can pull out, but I'm going to just focus on the positives. So anyway, I had a lot of jobs growing up, from barista to working in greenhouses to construction to whatever my dad was doing, dry ice companies, and doing all these little things to help the family businesses. So I have a vast experience from production to retail to to food and beverage. I don't really it's interesting because I consider my first real job, I have such a hard time talking about myself. I don't know if you noticed this, but this is very hard for me. I'm like, nobody. I'm just thinking to myself, nobody cares. This is stupid. Your story doesn't matter. Why are you even talking about this? This is totally irrelevant. This isn't going to help anybody. Very interesting. And as you can see, I'm just like live judging myself on camera. But anyway, and I don't have that much time today, so I'm like, oh my goodness, I gotta speed this up. Anyway, I did insurance sales for a while and a bunch of other various jobs all around. I got married when I was really young, 21, and I've now been married for 10 years, which is crazy. I have 3 kids. My oldest just turned 8. I've talked about him in some videos. He's my son. And then I have two daughters, Ophelia, who we call Effie, and then Clementine. And they're 6 and 3. And my life has kind of been, and then I have another on the way, but my life has kind of been just this whirlwind of going from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, doing what I have to do, not really stopping and questioning anything. I've been working my whole life. Like I've never, like I've taken 2-week vacations now and then. But really I've just been going my whole life, and I haven't stopped. And in between all that, it's working through mental health issues. It's working through childhood traumas. It's working through trying to figure out what we're doing on this planet, right? Trying to figure out what we're doing on this planet. And, it's been a long 30 years. It's been a long journey for me to figure out, oh, what am I doing? I've owned businesses now. I used to own a coffee shop that I had for 6 years, and it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot in that business. I made a lot of mistakes. I got into a partnership that I shouldn't have gotten into. I got sued. I mean, like, I have been through the ringer. And then just, closing down my coffee shop, jumping to the next job, jumping to the next thing, and just figuring it out all along the way. And what's so interesting is, like, I guess the point is, like, humans are so resilient. I love Mr. Rogers, so much so that I have a little abstract painting of Mr. Rogers, or abstract painting of Mr. Rogers. It's blurring out. It's for some reason it's not doing a great job at focusing. But anyway, I love Mr. Rogers. So he's such an inspiration in so many ways, because I think he just got it. Like, he understood that people needed to be seen and people needed to be loved, especially children. And I love that about him. I didn't really grow up watching Mr. Rogers. Maybe occasionally on PBS if we happened to be somewhere that had PBS in the hotel or something. But I also do. I apologize. I'm gonna do a better job because of time, but I'm gonna do a better job at explaining who I am and my history. I need to get better at this. This is part of doing it scared for me. I'm like nervous and shaking talking about myself. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be talking about myself. I don't like talking about myself. And it's crazy because I'm getting on video cameras and I'm like, well, I got to start talking about myself. I don't like doing it. I don't like looking at myself. I feel like it puts a magnifying glass on myself. I feel like it makes me more open to judgment, all this stuff, all those thoughts. And but I know it's important. I know it's important to do that for, number one, vulnerability's sake, but also for you to relate to me and for you to say, well, why do I need to listen to this guy? Who's he to tell me anything? And it's, I'm a fellow human going through this experience with you. And I've experienced a lot in my 30 years here. I've experienced loss and, gain and everything. Anyway, back to my little Mr. Rogers things. I also write poetry, and I've performed poetry on stage a few times, and that's still an awkward thing that I call it awkward because I just don't know exactly what it is that I'm still exploring, but it excites me. It excites me enough. I get nervous sharing that I do poetry because I look at other poets and I'm like, yeah, those people are poets. I just put some words together. So anyway, I'm going to end this video because unfortunately I just don't have enough time today, and it's going to be interesting. I'm really worried about the next 5 weeks. The next 5 weeks, I have travel for 5 days, home for 2 days, travel for 5 days, home for 2 days, travel for 5 days. It's a lot of that. So it's and then doing all the stuff I do for work currently, and then for my own business and everything else, and then these videos. I'm like, whew, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And maybe for the next 5 weeks, these become 2-minute videos, which might be better, and it might force me to grow in other ways, to be brief, to not repeat myself, be more intentional. So I want to end it with this, and it's just a little. It's kind of a song, but I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to read it, that I wrote, and it was inspired by Mr. Rogers. The simplicity of language in a lot of his poems and a lot of his songs and a lot of his what he does has always inspired me, because he just gets to it. He gets to the point. So I wrote this, and I'll end it with this, and then I'll just stop. You're brave, you've made it far. You're brave, you've come so far. Being alive is courageous. Being alive is hard. Being alive feels like working hard. You're brave, you've made it. You're brave, you've come so far. Your being alive can be happy. Your being alive can be peaceful. Your being alive can be everything you want it to be. You're brave, you've made it. You're brave, you've come so far. Being alive is courageous. Being alive is fun. Being alive is the greatest thing that you've ever done. Be proud, you've done it. Be proud, you've got it. You're brave, you've made it. You're brave, you've come so far. You've come so far. You've done such a good job. I'm speaking to myself too. We all have our life story. We all have our struggles. We all have our pain. But the fact that you're watching this video means that you have made it through every obstacle. And I just wanted to come on here. If you haven't heard this, I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of the human that you are. I'm so proud that you continue on, even though you have every right to not continue on, because it's been so difficult, but you've stayed true and you've kept going. So I'm proud of you. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for taking the time to go through whatever that was. I am grateful.